So, Measurehead?
The unpromising race pupil return.
I think I know what the race enigma is.
And
It's beep. I just want to get into the harbor. Paradoxically, you plan to supersede the Occidentals with their own race theory. This racecraft is what rich people want us to do while they get all the money. Can I just punch this guy, please? What if I say this?
look, babe. The disco dancing degenerate has run out of cocaine to shoot into his arms. This has made him short, fused, and impolite. Underneath the posturing, there is dread.
Coca has really fucked him over, Jan.
The woman looks half bored.
You could have used this opportunity to overcome your narrow, Al-Ghul ravaged identity. Instead of unlocking the race enigma, you attempted to add to it unsuccessfully. Take solace from the fact that these thoughts
Points to
will
your head.
never entirely leave your brain. They will be with you on the day you die. The only germ of heroism in your body. Now go. I have beauty and truth to discuss with my woman.
Damn, Jan. How are you so romantic?
Wow, the woman shoots.
There is nothing I cannot possibly racist. I am not like that. Your silence betrays your... Oh, don't be... Mr. Clare is a man of vision. I am not the hard... Now leave
Can we not go past it now?
the unpromising race pupil. There is nothing fun. Tips the FR. It would be clear. I cannot possibly...
Darn it. I guess I ruined it forever. I should have just went with it. I just wanted to punch him, man. Sigh. Frick. Why, Measurehead? Just let me through.
The unpromising race pupil.
Ugh. It's fine. Throw your stupid race theory away. Forget forever. Motorway South. This is the one I wanted to do. Bizarre angles. What is this one? Cleaning out the rooms. Someone's walking in your dreams lately. This would be an interesting one to do too. Let's try Motorway South though. Motorix learning caps raised by 1. So we don't really need that. So this is definitely something we can get rid of. I do like holding on to it just for the solution we found for it. But I think it's fine. Oh, these are the ones we forgot at the bottom. Okay. Intellect learning caps raised by 1. Okay, that's kind of needed since we're low on it, so in case we ever need to, this. Mazovian economics. We can get rid of this too. I might want to hold on that until the end of the communist meeting. If we might be able to do that today. I don't know if we will though. Darn it. I just want Measurehead to get out of the way. How are we gonna do this though? I guess we can't do it anymore. If we can't get rid of Measurehead, right? Can I warp to... No, I have to walk there. Okay. Maybe if I try talking to Joyce, I want to see if she will say anything about our attempt to talk to the Measurehead, and it didn't work. Man, I should have just went with it. Regrets. We can't go this way. Actually, wasn't there a icon here somewhere? No, it's on the other side. Okay. Oh, there's probably a dot there because that's where the cryptozoologist guy is staying with the crypto fascist. Forgot his name. Is this something we can attempt? I don't think so. Nope. That's okay. Right here. Yeah, the sound of running water. Someone's washing dishes. Let's see if we can go inside. The door's closed again. Nothing to do here anymore. Here's someone inside, walking from room to room. Whoever lives here must be back home. Okay, maybe we can try coming there, in the... what's it called? In the morning. Okay, let's talk to Joyce, see if she can help us out with a Measurehead. I don't know if we can do anything about that. Maybe we'll never get to know what she knows.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Let's see.
Word has traveled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather. Wild Pines has eyes on the intersection, not ears. Of course. Of course. Until you come up with something...
She's not even asking you to say anything. It's so easy just to say. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun.
Oh. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun?
Yep.
Yes. As you said, your gun. Yes.
Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun.
About something else now.
He seems to be in some sort of loop. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun. Well, that's not good. Looks fine over here. You sure there's not some glandular problem?
What is happening?
What is happening? No. It's not that. I have no idea. This is bad. Executive function is completely shot. I keep pushing buttons and nothing is happening. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun.
Sweetheart, please stop repeating that now.
Her eyes look worried, frightened even. This is going to be hard to recover from. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun.
Please.
She looks around. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go crazy. How do we get out of here?
Yes, Mr. Everard. This gossiping idea was terrible on my part. I take it back.
Oh my freaking gosh. The woman's cancer surroundings. That's what neurologist might magically appear. Fear seeps into you as you see your skin crawls. Mr. Everard is helping him find his gun. Yeah, we need to pull the plug. There's nothing else to do. Are you not afraid it'll kill him? Oh my gosh. Physically, he should be fine, or at least no worse than usual. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Hold on.
Harry, are you all right?
I'm great. Are you alright? Judging from the voice, probably not. Oh my gosh, what do I want to say? Oh, that's so funny. Man, this game is great. I love this game.
I'm much better now that you're back. You seem to be caught in some sort of loop.
Loop? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Never mind the details. We've wasted enough time as it is. What matters is that you seem to have got out of it. Now,
I love it.
please ask me something else before it happens again. Something that, preferably, doesn't include the words Mr. or Everard.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was so funny.
Of course,
But
detective.
we don't really need to tell her about
Ignore
anything,
what
so...
would you like to know? Good.
Yeah, I guess that's just something we can't do without Measure Hit in the way. We just failed. Oh well. Alright, we're almost at our location. Maybe we can just read a bit more. Let's see. Cleaning out the rooms. We want to hold on to this just in case we need it for communism. Let's read this. Want to catch up on international developments. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenin. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling across the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yuklograd. Whoa, 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 bear wrestling? Flip back to that. Alright, let's see what this bear wrestling is all about. It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, devised and promoted by none other than President Knezinski? Nezinski. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV. Oh gosh, it's 2202. Hang on, tell me more about this Uncle Sport. Oh, when it says bear wrestling, does that mean two bears are wrestling each other, or... Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president. It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases woman, against one bear. Two competitors, one ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation. According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12 and 7% respectively. This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Cherte. I'm not sure I trust these numbers. I guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're drunk. I guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're out of shape. What are you, a statistician? Sorry about that. I totally butchered that. Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade. Always good to catch up on foreign affairs. Alright. Just enough time has passed, and we can try to find our gun now. So where was that? Meet her in the old fish market. Walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Okay. Let's get back to the main area and then we can warp to the fisherman shacks. Is going up here enough, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so... boardwalk. So that's over here, right? Must be this way. Is this the area? Nope. Okay, this is not it. It's the boardwalk down here, I guess. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near the ocean. Oh, let's check the trap. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner dead. No phasmid anywhere. Oh. Oh, is this it? This might be it. People pay money to park here? No one will pay now. Visual calculus. Where is the space we're supposed to go to? Near the old fish market. The old fish market. Isn't that this area? This area should be the fish market, right? Up there. Oh, she's here. Oh, she wasn't here before.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Oh my gosh. The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
She screams in the megaphone. Scavenged battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease. We shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control. I don't feel comfortable being separated from my multi-tool. Raise your hands.
The man appears to be pulling out an object from his pocket.
Her eyes fill with terror.
Fear under threat! Fear under threat! Superseding event. Split-second decision. Get on the ground! Get on the goddamn ground!
Ma'am, I just want to talk to you.
Subject yourself to a full body cavity search. Prohibited materials concealed in nostrils, ears, mouth, navel, urethra, foreskin, vagina, and rectum.
In her mind, the cavity search is happening. As long as she's saying it, it appears the things she says are very real to her. The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. I wish Kim was here. Hand-eye coordination. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded. Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's a goddamn police shitbag.
She yells into the megaphone.
You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar looking ampoules and packets sticking out the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? Magnesium, dramamine, maybe even speed. My gosh, she has speed on her? What else? Are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
The megaphone makes her voice almost painfully metallic. You're not the police, I'm the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
She lowers the megaphone halfway, but immediately raises it again and screams. Lieutenant W. Frederick Harry Dubois, 41st Precinct.
No. Oh, no.
The crazed woman mumbles,
No.
shaking her head.
I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth. Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
Suddenly she raises the megaphone and screams. There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here. What's the situation?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
She screams in the megaphone. A red and blue light illuminate the spit flying everywhere. I really am a cop. Look at my badge.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
She repeatedly bashes the megaphone against her head and screams in the bloody mouthpiece. She was only at one twitch and there will be blood.
Confined quarters!
Oh my gosh!
Coming at me! Split-second decision! Fire at will!
Oh. I see. Okay, the gun was empty. All good. You're fine.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real.
I could have died. Wow.
Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
The gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down her scratched cheeks. Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore.
Her voice is going...
Why would they treat me like this?
Her voice is going fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly. Okay, you need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around.
You tried to kill me.
Nobody ever comes to visit me.
The old woman mumbles, staring blank at the boardwalk. I'm very sorry for how this life turned out for you. Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. The catonic woman, especially now that she's unarmed, doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone but herself. Titus wants to be the sheriff. I'll tell him where to find you. Maybe he knows your family.
Please leave the radio on. Mr. Moran is on Channel 8.
As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the old lady. It's but a reflex, nothing else. Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashers now. Maybe you search her once more. The woman's hand slumped. She looks catonic under the mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them too. Pick up the RCM cap. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Confiscate the narcotics. You take a feel of pyrrolidon and a bottle of speed. As evidence, obviously. She didn't even consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them. A little like you are doing now. Should I shake her shoulder? She doesn't react to your touch. Okay, we'll leave her be. Alright, we can still head to the meeting. Probably. Let's do that. And go to the communism meeting. And then we'll talk to Hardy after that. Okay. So we got our gun. Woohoo! Equip this one times our most dire. A 3-shot revolving barrel, Villiers LaSalle pepper box. Typically designed to officers of the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. The butt of the gun is worn and the engraving on the side reads, Sunrise Parabellum. This is your gun. No doubt about it. Nice. RCM Lieutenant's Cap. Authority. Ooh, nice. We can put that on for, when we talk to, Titus Hardy. The cap is sturdy and comfortable and seems to retain its form very well. It fits you perfectly. The inside of it smells like cheap tobacco and typewriter ink. It feels familiar somehow. Perhaps it too is yours? Though how the pigs got it is a mystery. Okay. Let us get out of here. I want to freaking warp. Yes. Okay. We're gonna go to the meeting. Gotta go to the meeting. Don't want to be late to the meeting. At the apartments. The apartments, yeah, it's this way. Alrighty. Hello, lady. Anything
Give
new?
me a moment.
Do you know anything about a secret meeting that's happening tonight?
What? No. Nobody tells me anything.
Would you understand if they did? How about any unusual activity taking place after hours, say after 2200?
If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of it.
She shakes her head and mutters to
I
herself.
think we'd all be better off.
Okay. So we gotta figure out where this meeting is happening. What does my note say? Attends the Bond's meeting at the Cape Side Apartments. Okay. So we gotta figure out where this is. What's this? Waves crashing in the darkness. Okay. Okay, so there's that door. Check this door. Here's someone walking around inside rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
This time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, very intense. It's really easier to do things if you have any reason. Okay. That's not it. Oh, this is the communist room, right? Guy who has a bunch of communist stuff. Well, I guess we never went in here. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Krasmazov. Krasmazov, the hero of the working class. A communard lives in this room. Whoever lives in here needs to learn how the economy actually works. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet. Okay. Let's check out other areas. Nope. Nope. Nothing in here. Is Kuno's dad still here? I wonder. Oh, he's still sleeping. Okay, there's no point in doing that. We need to get to the meeting before we waste too much time. Where does this lead to? I forget. Okay, that's just outside. I just want to get to tomorrow so Kim will be back. I'm so lonely without you, my partner. Oh my gosh. What if we did the what if we did the Mr. Everard is helping me get my gun back part with Kim there? That would have been so funny. Why can't we open this? Nope. Let me go this way. Hello? Oh, Nothing. Run it. This must be the door. No, that's the library lady that lives there. Okay. Alright, let's keep looking. You can try going this way. Oh wow. Did she finish painting that? Mazov Merde.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
What's ozone?
It's where they grow whores like that one over there. And their whoremen. Pig's not half as dumb as he looks.
She gives you a stately nod of approval. These guys send their best.
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness. They seem to hold you in high esteem.
They'll never be skulls.
She softens.
But their hearts are in the right place.
Can I be a skull?
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
How's that? She throws you a conspiratorial glance and presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
Okay. What about this door? Ooh, have we gone in here? This must be the meeting room, I guess. Ah, no, it's the lady. Where the old lady lives. Kind of sad, but... You know, sometimes it just be that way. What on here? Metal grill door. As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected, something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee, a smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at this pig, sniffing about after hours.
Hey, spastic curfew. Go to bed, Cindy. Why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
She gives you a lackadaisical shrug. The metal grill is cool to the touch. Try to listen. You can make out at least two separate voices. Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s. Careful with us now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it. Bang on the grill. The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice from their burrow. Who's there? Is that you, Maurice? That's right. This is I, Maurice. Come crawling back already? Get out of here, traitor. I'm actually not Maurice. I'm trying to get organized. Can you help me? What's the passphrase? Dobriva and Abedanes. It's no response. We begin to wonder whether they slipped out some back way. Alright, the key's taped to the back of the doorframe. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away in places.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
Okay. Oh, we're going to the meeting. This is exciting. I've never seen this part either before. So, it's been very fun discovering all these new things that I've never saw anyone else do. I wish Kim was here, though. He could join us with our communist meeting. Steban, the student communist. Oh, that must be his room, right? The tiny room. The two young men are either oblivious to you or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
Echo Maker.
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference.
The young man shakes his head, then looks up at you with barely concealed irritation.
You're late.
You should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Sorry. His companion looks up at you and squints. There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than anyone his age could bear. Meanwhile, his companion glides towards him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Just a moment. Could this be a former owner of a certain jacket you acquired recently? Samarizine jacket? They weren't exactly easy to find.
That's the whole point, of course. We can't just have anybody waltzing in here. Martinez is crawling with reactionary infiltrators. There are RCM spies, for one. Just recently, someone even broke into my apartment, if you can believe it. To say nothing of Gottwaldians and iconoclasts.
The young man's companion reflexively snorts at the mention of Gottwaldians and iconoclasts.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Uh-oh, no one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one. What is this reading? I thought this was a revolutionary group. There must be some misunderstanding. No one mentioned my reading. Yep, we're gonna wing it.
You have. Excellent. Let's hear your critique then.
I thought the themes were interesting.
They always say that when they haven't done their reading. Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your having not done the reading.
Maybe he can explain himself.
What exactly are you two doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club. Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of binoclars yanking each other's knobs? Is this where I can square off in theory combat? Sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement, exactly like my jam.
We have been known to get into some spirited debates, but it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
This is so interesting because I've never heard this music before either.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
I didn't realize they taught radical Mazovian theory in the universities.
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
Okay, so what does your reading group actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear like a piece of old wax. Oh, you can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating. No! Force yourself to keep listening.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Ablars une pain infernale.
The original Fisdale translation, not that watered-down revisionist garbage.
Obviously.
He snores.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Wait, who are these
You're
inframaterialists?
not familiar with them? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, gendarme.
The two men exchange skeptical side glances. Okay, who's this Ignace Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual. We're too dumb for this
He
conversation.
also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Those words again. You got to find out what intramaterialist stuff is all about. Whatever it is, one thing's perfectly clear. These young students have much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You can learn a thing or two from them if you're convinced that you're one of them. The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively. Where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
Oh, there's just two of you?
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
Okay, what happened to them?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Novels. Unbelievable.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
What's about the Gottwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets.
His companion sneers.
Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
Well, what's so depressing about their theories?
The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are capable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Miserable.
It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Okay, but what about the iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
Beans?
That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all,
This is so
they love
interesting.
building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future. They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah, yes, the much maligned bean counters. Ensconced in their think tanks and high rises, believing that they can save the world through a means of incremental assiduously technocratic reforms. I don't get it. Are the beans a metaphor?
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
What about the liberals? Are they liberals too?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
What about Cindy? Is she part of the group?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using a room for studio space, of course.
Do you say something about turnips? Another sigh. It's an unfortunate story, you see. Our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist. He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Right. So a few weeks ago, we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard anything like it. Remind me what the inframaterialist theory says about turnips again?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
So he expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The young man gives you a half smile. His companion sniffs. What were you doing with those matchboxes just now? The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing. Just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes, awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results. Does the reading group have anything to do with the lynching?
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Is your reading group affiliated with the union somehow?
No, we're an independent organization.
He says proudly.
We acknowledge and respect the union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
Are you sure? My working theory is that communism killed the hangman.
You're saying you think the mercenary was killed by communism itself?
Seems unlikely, from a strictly inframaterialist perspective.
Comrade Ulexis is right. The amount of plasm required to strike down an ideological enemy outright is enormous. We're talking second-level effects, at a minimum.
Or even third.
In any case, it's not like the SRV has established a party line on the subject of lynchings in Martinez.
The two young men look at one another.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-tribes' dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through. Darn it. Missing by one. It's always that way. Beneath the crest of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to ripple forth. You may witness it yet. So what's your stance on crime in general?
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself.
Delivered with the smug assurance of a schoolboy reciting a maxim he's committed to memory.
It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
He waves his hand through as though this is all there is to say on the subject of crime. His companion can barely suppress a yawn. Are there any operational communists in Martinaise?
No, unfortunately. The communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
Like this one. Right, they all got shot in the head, just like the anarchists.
The Insulindian deluge wiped out an entire generation of communists. Afterward, they were all bulldozed into mass graves.
The young man looked slightly queasy at the thought. His friend, though, seemed oddly unmoved. On the contrary, he seemed to be savoring the thought of so many people shot in the head, regardless of their beliefs. Mark it. There's something sinister in that one. That's kind of scary. A moment of silence. They're waiting for you to speak. Is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics.
The young man turns to his companion.
But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Stefan, you can't be serious. For gendarme?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, he'll still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process.
He turns back to you.
Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Proud bookshop remnant. Ooh, composure. Okay, that's not fair. We'll still be here if I have more questions.
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep well, gendarme.
Oh, okay, so they're here every night. Okay. That's cool. Let's check our composure. Dun 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 dun. Yellow, yellow. Minus savoir-faire though, that sucks. Savoir-faire. Interfacing, logic, perception. Minus savoir-faire. Okay. No pants. Whoops. Composure, okay. Plus savoir-faire. Minus savoir-faire. Hold on, let me take this off. Okay, so that's canceling out our savoir-faire minus. I wonder if this still would be 5, 9, 10. I wonder what our savoir-faire points would be at now, because it'd be interesting to redo that part where he's talking about something.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
Let's see.
Clinching.
Was it
We
this?
think of ourselves as
That's easy.
No, it
It's
was
a
before
symptom.
this. Let's try
You're
this
saying
part.
you-
seems unlikely,
Comrade Ulix is...
or even
In any case,
though historic.
good point.
Darn it, I need one more, okay.
No, unfortunately, the Insulindian...
Okay, so let's just take off the shoes for now. Let's try again. Savoir-faire. That should work, right?
The gendarme returns.
I'm just very interested in what he's
do
gonna
you
say
need?
about it.
Clinching.
We think of
You're saying you...
seems
Comrade Ulix is...
or even
In any case,
Let's see.
though historic.
good point.
Nice. It's not that the boundary between sarcasm and sincerity is porous with these two. It's that they actually seem to overlap, as though one is meant to conceal the other. Okay.
No, unfortunately, the Insulindian...
Alright, let's get back to our composure status. We'll put on like that. Let's take a look at everything in here too. Coffee. What's this? Reflective construction vest. Endurance. Reaction speed. Interesting. This poster reads, under the cobblestones, communism. This one says, no war but class war. A rickety easel surrounded by pots of goulash. Wash. Cindy's, no doubt. Trying to think about the crack spidering out across the floor. It's kind of scary. Just a giant hole in this random room. Okay, there's nothing else to explore here.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
I'm guessing all this art stuff belongs to Cindy.
Ah, yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio.
Do you like her art?
Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
Interesting. Isn't that just Binocular for I don't have a real opinion? Wait, I thought interesting is what people said when they don't have anything real to add. His companion eyes widen with interest. He has a cold smile.
Come on.
This guy's like
It's not that
creepy.
I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it. I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions.
Now I'm wondering, what's the deal with this place?
The deal? At a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
I heard these used to be luxury apartments. Million real views, that sort of thing.
That could be.
He nods.
It would explain some of the more ornate detailing. But we're speaking in world historical terms here. What this place represents, not what it merely was.
His friend yawns, evidently bored by literal reality. Okay, let's move on.
Go ahead.
The young man gives you a half smile. His companion sniffs. Alright, 83! Yeah! What's there to be scared of? You've been really cracking the books these last few days. You can go intellectual toe with any reading group in Martinez. Now, chin up, you've got this. This is just the group I've been looking for. When do we start?
Oh, you want to start now?
He looks to his companion back at you.
We can manage that.
You've caught him off balance. The momentum is already in your favor.
Go ahead and take a seat. Since we haven't had time to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire, I think we can keep this interview more freeform. Why don't you tell us a bit about the books you're interested in? And we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Oh, man. I should have finished reading the books I had first. More into practical books that help me understand the real world.
Aha, a real old-school pedestrian materialist. Alright, we'll play along. So what sort of practical works are we talking about?
I enjoy thinking about truly fundamental concepts like the alphabet, for instance. Just consider the cockatoo, for instance. How much do you really know about what they're like?
Cockatoos. Fascinating. So tell us what you gathered from your ornithological researches.
This is a good start. They're starting to loosen up. You feel relaxed and in control. This is a subject where you hold all the advantages. And that was the first time I saw the darkness of my own soul reflected back to me in cockatoo form.
I have to say, I never realized cockatoos could be so apocalyptic. I've only ever seen the grey ones. It makes sense though. Mazovianism stresses the essential continuity between humanity and nature. So anything you find in one should be reflected in the other. What's the exact quote, Uli?
I believe it's, man is the mirror of the world.
These kids are eating out of your hand, practically. Another quarter of an hour disappears. The questions come rapid fire, but you have an answer for every one. Now, you can sense things starting to slow down. The interview must be reaching an inflection point.
Don't you think, though, that you can only really understand current events if you have a firm background in history and political theory?
Well, listen, books are fine and all, but to be straight with you, they're no substitute for a real story.
Okay, we'll bite. What sort of stories are we talking about?
The young man and his companion look at one another and turn back to you. Let's just say the human body starts to do some weird things when it's been in a tree for 7 days. I'll tell you about the time I woke up and completely forgot about what money is.
You've got our attention. Let's see where this goes.
Now you're getting somewhere. These boys aren't even bothering to contain their interest. They want to see how you weave the threads of the story together.
Okay, but when
Oh my
you
gosh,
say
it's
he
so late.
spoke to you, you mean metaphorically, right?
Right, of course. I'm really talking about my top-notch forensic skills.
So have you figured out his real identity?
Another quarter of an hour disappears. The conversation bounces back and forth. Whatever they're tensions. It's clear these two have been craving something real. Now, you can see these things starting to slow down. Time to wrap this tale
But
up.
how could communism and love both have killed him?
I think he's saying it was communism that actually committed the murder. But it was love that brought him to that point.
Right, that's basically it. But like I said, it's only a working theory.
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. But listen, Gendarme. We could use someone with your breadth of expertise.
Oh my gosh.
With just a little more theoretical background, I think you'll be able to make some real contributions.
Cool. Reading the Cockatoo book was worth it.
Yes, I would say he's got serious potential at least.
And with that, welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Woohoo. I can't believe reading the Cockatoo book did this for
Here's
us.
your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere.
Okay. So we can read this before we go to sleep, I guess. A brief look at inframaterialism. I'll add it to my very extensive reading list.
You're going to fit right in, I think. Come back when you're done. We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m. Do be sure to take your time with the reading. We'll be eager to hear your thoughts.
Fun times. Woo.